Right now, he's doing the intro
Oh,
to the
okay.
to the to the to the show. It's got like a little theme song music
Okay.
and all that. It's pretty cool. Yes, 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 yes. Back again. In the third, we got Ricky Estrada, mayoral candidate for Menifee, California. My town, my city. Let me get some hand claps for that one. I don't know if he's got the hand clap thing on for me, but we get hand claps, we get cheers, we get all of that stuff. But I'm very excited to be here with you. Um,
Thank you for having me.
it's you know we're getting into a realm of where a lot more of the civilian, like the population, is getting more politically involved. We're starting to see, you know, a lot more awareness and education, people wanting to know what's going on. As we see on a national stage, there's a lot of things going on that, a lot of us can't relate to or understand. But, at our local
Yeah.
level, I think we've kind of agreed that starting from the bottom to the top is what we need to start doing. But I appreciate you being here, and you're running for mayor for Menifee. Let's
Yeah.
tell them about yourself, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Hugo. I appreciate the invite. The whole reason I decided to throw my name in for mayor was I thought it would be important that all our residents know the different perspectives and the different issues that are going on in the city. And you know what? Not all of us think alike,
Right.
you know. And I feel like the way business has been done in Menifee for a long, long time by the establishment, by the old guard, is out of touch with a lot of our residents. And I'm doing this to bring a healthy dialogue and conversation for everyone. I think the biggest issues residents see going on right now is the overdevelopment. The developers are ruling Menifee right now. That's our personality, and that's all we're known for.
Okay.
When our neighbors, when our neighboring cities come to our city, you know, we're just known for housing. But I want to bring more family entertainment, more fun, more dining options, and I want to protect our small town feel,
Right.
and just stand up for the everyday resident.
Right. And I mean, some of us, like myself, one thing that attracted me to Menifee because I moved I was in the military, got out of the military, landed in Arizona for a little while right
Yeah,
after
thanks
I
for your
got out.
service.
And it
Yeah.
was my pleasure. It definitely was attractive for us as a family because it was one of the most affordable places in Southern California to live.
Yeah, that's why I moved here too
You
with
know,
my family. Yeah.
we I spent about a year, back and forth. I took a job. We knew we were coming out, right, back in 2016. A little bit different of a time and economic status, but came out, was looking around, went up north to Victorville because I could have lived anywhere in Southern California with my job. So, you know, uh, looked up in Victorville area, up on top of the hill there. It was decent pricing, but really nothing going on. There's not too much to do, pretty vast. You got the desert out there, it's pretty expensive. Even parts of, once you get to Corona, gets pretty expensive. And down past into Temecula and down to San Diego, it gets really expensive.
Right.
And we can forget about LA in our county.
Right.
Right. That's like out of the question. So when you're moving a family of 8 from Arizona, which is pretty cush, to California, you land in places like Menifee.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and I think we should be looking now. Now Menifee's starting to catch up with our neighbors. It's getting as expensive as Temecula, and the housing. All the new houses are worth 600, 700, $800,000, and so. But now we have to ask ourselves, what's Menifee's unique identity? Okay, we're here now. Now what? So I think going into the next phase of our city's existence, we should answer this essential question. What is our unique identity? When I go to Temecula, we're known for the wineries. When we go to Elsinore, we're known for the lakes. But I want Menifee to stand for something special. not just affordability and homes, not just let's put that conversation in our past now. Why are we here? So I want to propose a solution. Our initial founder was Luther Menifee Wilson, and he was a gold miner. How about we pay homage to our history, maybe gather around a theme of gold mining, California frontier, old western,
Okay.
have a downtown or an old town, rustic view, some walkability, some water fountains, give our families someplace to go and to have a synergy where we can
Right.
all get together.
Right. And I mean, some would argue that we have some of those things in place. We do have some pretty cool parks. Didn't the amphitheater go up somewhere? But is that in,
Yeah, that's going to be coming up in the next year or so.
Where is that where is that located?
That's going to be in Central Park, off of Hahn Road. It's going to be behind the Fairfield Hotel. And yeah, that could provide some performances or some entertainment for us. With the heat that we have in Southern California, I hope we can maximize it to its best potential. It's coming, but I don't know if one amphitheater is the solution to all of the residents' wants.
Yeah, it's an option, and then if you keep it at night, or in the evening hours and stuff like that, I think that amphitheater would be awesome. But I hear what you're saying, like something that identifies us, Menifee, you got Temecula, like you said, there's wine and all of that, kind of fancy stuff over there. And then you have, other places have their identity, but Menifee really is struggling with that.
And I really appreciate the hard work all of our founders did to establish a city. It's not easy to create a city, all the bureaucracy and the red tape. But I think one of the first questions the initial city council should have asked is, okay, what are we going to stand for?
And you said a downtown area, something that is like a focal point or a center point. Now, when you do things like that, there's always pros and cons. So what is your stance on, like, okay, if we establish like like how Temecula has their downtown district and it's, bars or, some sort of entertainment, how would that future look for Menifee if it was placed here? Where would you want to put it?
I would say we should continue our momentum for all the vacant land is from Lowe's down to Scott Road. We have the Buffalo Wild Wings, the BJ's, some of those restaurants. It has a little bit of walkability, not so much, but right there with the freeway frontage where it gets a lot of exposure and the businesses can market themselves and get in front of people's eyes. I would, and then we'll have the city hall, right there. Hopefully soon we'll have that theater situation taken care of and have a new investor come in.
A lot of people are bent out of shape about that theater.
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking about? If we can't get an investor to come in and buy that off of Krikorian, I think the government should take some action and look at ways we can turn it over to someone who's serious and who's not going to continue to make excuses, because that's the heart of our city. Everyone sees it on.
It's a big black eye. Yeah, sometimes it's a big black eye. Like, whoa, what's that?
So right now we have a couple investors who have been in talks with Krikorian to buy it from him and to reinvest and to do it properly. But if Krikorian continues to stall or use this as a tactic to, give false hope, I think the city council should be more aggressive into turning it over to someone.
Okay. And for those people that don't know, you're already in the mix. You're a councilman right now.
Yes, I was elected in 2002.
Okay. So
I'm sorry, 2022.
I was going to say 2002.
2022.
I was like, how old were you then? So 2022. How's that experience? I mean, I know that, how we met.
Yeah.
And some of the circumstances that, some of the mutual acquaintances or friends that we have, and the ways that I won't name any names or throw anybody's business out there, but the amazing things that you've done to help them. But how was that experience, becoming a councilman and being this connected to the community?
At the end of the day, when I go to bed at night, I ask myself, did I do everything I could for the people who elected me and put me in that seat?
Right.
And, I initially ran because of some of these issues. Menifee's lack of unique identity, Quell Valley, Romo Land, those communities are forgotten, largely Hispanic, largely minority. They don't get the same amount of infrastructure. So I felt compelled to stand up for that.
Mm.
I see all the developers coming in, and our only identity is the development, the houses. So I said, as a resident, how could I make my community better? When I go to bed at night, my goal or my hopes when I talk to God is, God, I did everything I could. Tomorrow, give me strength to do the fight again.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now it's been it's been a tough road for me. I didn't get elected with any help from anyone currently in the establishment.
You didn't have any inside connections.
Yeah, I didn't have the endorsements. I didn't have the, all those inside connections. I didn't know, how to raise, money, anything. I just did it old school, had some business cards and went door to door. I knocked on every door and I said, hey, this is what I'm about. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. And now that I'm in, I guess I see a little bit more of the red tape and the technicalities and how hard it is to get things done.
So in that sense, you can see where, being critical of someone that's actively sitting in that seat, like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that?
Right.
You kind of seen the insides of that.
Yeah, I see the bureaucracy of it, but I also see, the city council can, I don't want to say at any time, but if the city council wants to be aggressive and take an initiative, you need 3 out of 5 of them to agree. We can make the colors of the city purple and pink tomorrow if 3 out of 5 agree in a couple weeks about it. If the city council wants to be more aggressive on any stance or any issue, they can do it. Now, all of the things that I ran on and I continue to fight against, the housing density, the warehouses on Ethanak Road, wasteful spending projects, in my opinion, like the amphitheater. I think that could be a nice touch in the future, but I think we're just so young, our infrastructure right now and our public safety and this young infancy, we need to set the groundwork before we can get a little bit more glitzy and glamoury with some of those projects. But, I'm still continuing to fight that good fight. A lot of these votes go 4-1, sometimes 3-2, but at the end of the day, I say, hey, the people put me in because I said I was going to stand for this. Even though this might be unpopular, I'm going to stick to my guns. And at the end of the day, when I go to bed and talk to God, I say, hey, the people who put me here, I fulfilled their obligation, what they want me to carry out for them.
Right. Now, have you ever been put in a situation or like, the people want something, but you have insight to that something that like, I don't know if you guys really want this. Tell me how you navigate through those types of challenges as a representative.
Yeah, so basically I share everything I know except if it happens in a closed session.
Understood.
A closed session has legal liabilities and there, negotiations or investigations or buying of properties that the city is interested in. But everything else, I can share openly, and I try to tell everyone, the pros and cons, and even when I might take a stance, I'll say, hey, but the other side might mention, this is the counter argument, just so residents are able to take in both sides.
Absolutely. So in those challenging times, I mean, you're still being held to, hey, we voted you, we put you in this space, and this is what we want.
Right.
And then it sounds like there's times where you really can't explain why you have a certain stance to your constituents or the people that voted for you. I guess, how often does that happen for this level?
Yeah, I always try to ground my claims with evidence and reasoning. I don't just blindly choose a side. But before I was elected in 2022, I ran for mayor in 2020. And I've been reading the city staff reports since 2018, 2019. So I've kept up with the issues. I've done my homework. I've read up on what the staff has researched and what the staff, all the information the council members have had since 2019.
You're kind of privy. You're
I've
privy
read
to
all
it.
those same documents, and the public can read them all at any time too. We don't have access to any more confidential information than anyone else.
Where can we find that? City Hall? Where is that?
So at on the city council, during city council meetings, the staff releases a agenda, and online at the city website for each topic of discussion, those all the research and all of the information done by the professionals, the planning department, the public works, the legal team, all that's put into a packet, a PDF, and it's all put public to everyone to see prior to a city council meeting. And you just go to cityofmenifee.com and look at agendas.
Mhm.
And under the agendas, you'll see the attached information, all the same documents that the city council is exposed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough of that political stuff. Like you're a councilman. I think a lot of people know that. I think what I want to do is get down to the essence of Ricky Estrada. Like, where did you go to school? Where did you grow up, man?
Yeah. So I was born in Pasadena.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was LA County, big Dodger fan. And here I am talking to a Yankee fan, game one of the World Series.
I can't wear this out in public, but out in LA, huh?
Yeah, but baseball, always was like little Ricky from kindergarten always loved the Dodgers and always loved baseball. And that's what kind of, got me going in my life early on. I always said I wanted to play center field for the Dodgers, be that leadoff guy, steal bases. And that didn't work out, but I still, kind of followed it a little bit into my early years. I was an intern for the Dodgers for a couple years. And before I went to college, I did that in LA. And then I went to college at UCSD, studied political science. And then I got into politics because my freshman year in college, my professor made an assignment. He said, "Hey, write a letter to Arnold Schwarzenegger."
He was the governor.
He was the governor of the time. And I wrote the letter, and I felt like my voice mattered, like I was participating, like I could affect change to problems in the world. And I still remember that professor, Louis Bohan, Cal Pomona, before I transferred to UCSD.
So he kind of lit the fire for your political prowess, like making the difference or making a change and being a voice.
Right. And prior to that, I went into college undecided, because you can start undecided and just do your general ed. But that class really made me feel like I was participating and being a productive citizen in the world. And so did that, got my political science degree from UC San Diego eventually. And then I said, you know what? I still want to be the center fielder for the Dodgers. So I was thinking, man, how could I still be involved? How could it little Ricky loves baseball. And so I said, well, all right, I might not be the center fielder for the Dodgers, but how else can I be on the baseball field? So then I went to professional umpire school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in Florida. And all the MLB umpires put on a clinic there. I didn't make it my first time. And so I did college baseball that summer after I went to professional umpire school. And then I went back and I tried again, and I tried out. And they take the top 20 students out of a class of 150. And so my second go round, I made it. I got a job in minor league baseball. And then
that's cool.
Yeah, I started traveling around for 5 years. I even did some of the Storm games in my last year in minor league baseball.
That's cool.
And then my career came to an end. And then because it's competitive, actually. The umpires is even more competitive than being a ball player, because you only have MLB. That's your only employer.
Right.
Like if you're a ball player, you can go to 30 different teams. You can play with the Dodgers, the Angels, the Padres, so-and-so. But there's only one MLB umpire crew or staff.
Right.
So because of the competitiveness, I eventually got weeded out. And then I decided, okay, my career's over. My baseball dream, I have to put that to the side.
Hmm.
And then I said, okay, I'm back home in Menifee. And this whole time I'm in minor league baseball, I live in Menifee,
Hmm.
since 2013. And then I finally come back home and I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do with my life? How can I be of service to others or bring myself some fulfillment? And I
Hmm.
said, I'm going to go back to my political science degree and try to help my local community and see what kind of positive changes I can do.
And at what year was this when you came back from doing the
2018.
Okay.
And I threw my name in for mayor for the 2020 election. And it was nothing against like any of the candidates running
Hmm.
at the time, or I didn't specifically think anyone was a bad person, or but I saw that the person running, at the time, Bill Zimmerman, he was appointed to the position, and it looked like he was just going to run unopposed at the time.
Gotcha.
And eventually a third candidate threw their name in. But I said, you know what? I think just to have a healthy discussion and just to give people options, and I'll throw my name in. And I got like 28 or 29%. I still have to double check. It's been a couple of years. And then, after I got more involved, I was like, I'm going to try again.
Hmm.
And then city council came about in 2022 and knocked a bunch of doors and shared my perspectives. And I just want to give Menifee a healthy balance, because like I said, I feel like it's been going along a long time for this in the same direction.
Hmm.
And I think people want to see a fresh perspective.
Okay, got you. So let's talk about your college days, man. So
Yeah.
UCSD, right?
Yeah.
So you went undecided.
Undecided.
Were you a campus guy or did you stay at home and commute?
Yeah, I stayed on campus. Yeah, and during college, I got a job at a sushi restaurant as a busser in the Gaslamp district.
Okay.
Yeah, and down in San Diego while I was going to UCSD. I didn't party much at all. And plus, UCSD is like a really nerdy school, and it's not like San Diego State's known for the partying.
Okay.
But so yeah, I mainly after classes I would go down at night for dinner time to Gaslamp District and use the tip money to get me through college. And
Any
yeah.
scholarships, any help there?
No.
Was it the grit and grind and working, going to school, working, and then paying off all your debt and stuff like that?
Yeah,
And
it was
then as you
just
go?
yeah, it was just the grind. And I didn't have any favors. I wasn't that special athlete. I wasn't that special student in high school. It was like in high school I got B's and C's. It wasn't until college where it just took me some time to
Right.
mature.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people.
And then I got the A's once I started getting to college.
Right.
But yeah, in high school, I was not distracted with girls and just the baseball and just boy stuff.
I got you. I hear you. I hear you. So, okay. So once we get out of college, and then so you said that you did the umpire. Was that right after college or
Yeah.
how was there any gaps there between college and umpiring?
Actually, my first job was I was an umpire at 16.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't really take it serious until after college. That's when I said, hey, I kind of did this for some side money, and I love baseball, and I can't be an intern for the Dodgers forever. And so I said, let me take it to the next level and try to make this a serious.
Okay, so that was pretty much right after college then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I mean, so now we're umpire. What we're talking 23, 24, 25 years old?
Yeah, I'm 24, and around 2014, 2013-ish, I get out of pro umpire school, and I make it. And man, I just remember all my days down there in Florida. It's like kind of like the military almost. They treat you like that. Like
Really? The umpire
school is kind of like a basic training in a way.
Wow.
Yeah, you get up really early. You go from like sun up to sundown. You're just on the field drilling. you're like practicing all the motions. You're just like, they put you in lines, you get in formation, they call the cadence, and for hours you're just like, safe, okay, back down, hands on knees set, okay, these drills will be outs. Then they say go, and then you go out, and then you go back, hands on knees set, and it's just,
so it's real regimented. I mean,
it's real regimented. You have to be
that's
clean shaven, collared shirts everywhere you go. Um, you know, you stay at a hotel, but you have the instructors, always just checking, making sure you guys are being safe and appropriate in the hotel rooms. And
that's one thing though, I would say, out of all the officials, right, of all the major sports, professional sports, it seems like umpires are a little bit more rigid. You got guys coming to get in your face. You don't see that happening in NFL or in NBA. You got a toss guy. Like, I mean, it's a little bit different. Like some of the things that happen in the MLB or even in baseball, when you think about it, like the challenging the umpire and
baseball is a unique sport, and for a long time baseball didn't have the instant replay.
right.
Like when I went to umpire school in 2013, 2014, that's like when they first came out with like, okay, we'll do instant replay, but only for the home run calls. And then they started slowly, like within that year or two, they said, okay, we're going to get rid of the collisions at home plate, and now you have to slide into second. And I remember all of our instructors are MLB umpire instructors. It's kind of cool. Like you're kind of in awe. Like I'm just like this kid, I'm 24-year-old, but here I am from like Hunter Wendelstedt. Like his dad started the pro MLB school. He's like argued with like, all of the big names, and they'll play videos, like the instructors in front of you, they'll play the videos of them arguing with like Lou Piniella or Tommy Lasorda, or getting, people getting in their faces, and then they're like right there, like trying to give you advice on how to carry yourself. So it's pretty cool, but yeah, baseball has gone through a huge change with the instant replay. I remember the first time I tried out at umpire school, the instructors, the MLB umpires mentioned, we haven't had any rule changes in decades. The game of baseball has been the same for so long, but now with all the new technology and the video cameras and the replays, and now they have pitch clocks,
right?
All of that.
Are you worried about AI calling balls and strikes?
I hear that that's coming. I hear, already at the AAA level, some of the minor league umpires have the earpiece, and then the players can challenge balls and strikes. So, little by little, society's changing, and that might dip more into baseball. I like the old school, like collide into home plate, and if he drops the ball, you're safe. And managers getting in your face, and it's
a gritty sport like hockey.
The human element,
and
not everything is so managed, but I still love the sport.
That's what's up. So we do baseball, we do umpiring, and then career's over. You said, man,
yeah.
So then, what you said earlier was you still wanted to be a steward. I know that when you're an umpire, there's an element of coaching, right? There's an element of teaching. There might be someone that doesn't understand the game, and I know that being that role, because I'm a youth league umpire,
right? Yeah,
and it's so rewarding to do that, because you're able to connect with so many different people. And I'm sure like you get accustomed to certain players. Some players don't like you.
Right.
Some players love the way you call balls and strikes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like softening you up for councilmen, right?
Yeah, it has. I sometimes think about carrying over the same things I learned in pro umpire school to my time in the council, like your body language, the terminology you use. I mean, arguing with a coach, whoa, you said this, or wait, you meant that, or why are you changing your call, or no, go get together with them and change your call, like you missed it. So, and then your body language, so showing confidence, showing, you were properly prepared. You read the rule book. I read my staff reports. Am I making the best informed decision? Did I prepare for this? So
Right.
people are watching. People are going to nitpick you apart. They're going to nitpick the umpire. Oh, look, the umpire, his shirt isn't pressed. It's kind of wrinkly. Is he like a prepared guy? Or is he just a slob? Is he going to
Right.
be able to run around the field and keep up with these athletes? So people size you up all the time,
Yeah.
on the field, and especially when it's worth millions of dollars. You're with players who get paid millions of dollars and they don't like to be called out and they don't like to be told no. And so you have to be prepared and stick to your gun.
So that does sound like some attributes while being a steward of the population.
Yeah,
I see that.
I carry some of those traits. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if we shared that here. I know we spoke before, but one of the things that I said impressed me the most about you was I was in a city council meeting, town hall meeting, and I had a grievance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came in, shared my grievance, and the things that you guys were talking about that day were very important to me. Like, wow, you guys, they're talking about what's going on right across the street from my house now, and right over there by Heritage Lakes. I mean, excuse me, by Heritage High School. The new development that's going on, and that was very important to me. So I was like, man, let me sit back and check this out. Later on, and I don't know, I don't remember exactly. It wasn't about the development, it was something else, and I wasn't sure what was going on about it. But there was a vote, and it seemed like it was a pretty high pressure vote.
Yeah.
And it came as like, okay, Ricky Estrada. He was like, well, you sat back in your chair, and as soon as you did that, I was like, he's about to vote no or whatever against it or whatever it was. I could tell. I was like, because the way, because you were, and then you body language, right? So you're like, and then you just sat back, you took that deep breath, and he was like, well, unfortunately, the people that put me in this chair aren't for this. So I'm going to have to say nay or whatever it is that you said, nay, yay, no, whatever.
Yeah.
And I could see like, come on, man. Like I could see like there was like that. Come on, Ricky. But that was one thing that impressed me, and it takes a lot of fortitude sometimes to go against the grain. Some people might not agree with it. It may be an unpopular opinion or decision, but again, the people that are telling you are, asking you for what they need. That goes against what they need. Mm-hmm. Even in a high pressure situation, you're still going to stick to those guns, like you just said. That's what impressed me about you. And then I started kind of looking in and seeing what kind of things you were into. A lot of things that I I find important to me are things that you're looking out for. Yeah. We can go down item for item and stuff like that. That might be for another time. But
yeah, when I'm, I get 4 years. If I'm reelected, or we'll see what God has in store for me. But for these 4 years, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do when I knocked on someone's door, when I looked them in the face, and I want them to say, hey, you didn't waver, you didn't change, you stood up for what you said you were gonna do, and that's what people wanted because they elected me. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to try to deliver that. And I might not get everything accomplished because I'm 1 out of 5, but I also hope that, like I said earlier when we started this, I want to bring a healthy dialogue and different points of view. And, always unanimous city council that goes 5-0, that smells kind of fishy, smells kind of funny. And I don't think it's healthy, and Hugo, we all want the same things. We want a safe community. We want nice parks. We want clean air, clean water. We want a nice place to go out to dinner in our community. We want we want all the same things,
right? But it's the avenues and how we get there.
How can we get there?
Right.
And so I have a little bit of a different avenue to get all of those family values that everyone wants delivered. And you know what? There's another thing that I do want to address because, when we talk about some of the things that I vote no against, some people have said,
And hold on, real quick.
oh yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but
okay,
and like I said, I don't remember what the topic was because I wasn't there for that. So again, I don't. You
okay.
don't have to defend yourself on it
Yeah, no,
like
I'm just
that.
speaking. I'm just speaking.
But
I'm
I
just
don't vote
speaking in
no.
general. I'm just speaking in general. I do vote no against the warehouses, the housing density, the apartment density, because I think Menifee needs to just slow down, take a deep breath. And some of our staff have even said, "Hey, we're going really fast, and it's hard to keep up all these permitting processes and plan checks and so and so. So even for our staff, I don't want to overwhelm them. We want to do things right, not make any mistakes. So we're a boom town, but I think we need to look at doing it at a
Systematic.
healthier pace.
Yeah.
And I do want to address something that I've seen going on social media. And it's Ricky, you accept money from developers. Okay.
Speak on it.
Yeah. So, I signed an oath that I wouldn't accept campaign contributions from a developer. Okay. And I see, the opposing side, try to spin the story about me accepting money.
Mhm.
And they're talking about Andy Suramelis. He's the owner of the Archibald's restaurant
Okay.
here and the gas station and the car wash right there.
Okay.
Okay. That's all his business is in Menifee. Okay. So I want to make this clear because I've seen this out there and I want to debunk this.
Let's go.
Okay. So I sat down with Andy and I said, "Hey, Andy, I signed an oath that I won't accept campaign money from developers. If I accept campaign money from you, are you going to start to develop or do you have any plans to develop?" He said, "No, Ricky, I have no plans to be a developer in Menifee. I built my restaurant, Archibald's. I built my gas station and my car wash, and that is all my businesses in Menifee. And I built those in 2016, I think he said.
Okay.
So many years back.
Right.
Okay. And so I said, okay.
So nothing that so it wasn't something that he benefited from donating to you. It was he already had those businesses established, and then he gave you a contribution.
Yes, he gave me a contribution for 5,000.
And he's already got that stuff already established, is what you're saying.
Correct.
All right.
So I said, okay, Andy, because I signed a note. And so before I accept your money, I want to make sure we're on the same page. He's like, I want you to accept my money and you don't have to worry about breaking your oath. I said, okay, because that's a promise I made to my constituents.
Right.
And so he has no projects in the work. And I asked, people who are listening on Menifee 411 or Menifee residents, okay, show me where he is developing something in Menifee. He's not developing anything in Menifee. I'm fulfilling my oath.
Right.
He's just a small business owner who owns his businesses here.
Right.
And so I want the residents to know I've kept my word. I'm not accepting money from developers, and he can't gain anything. He has no projects. I'm not voting on approving or denying anything.
Can the public go down and see who's got permits and stuff like that in that capacity? So I mean, if you have a question about that, go down to, what was it again, the city records or whatever, and find out.
Or just watch our city council meetings. If you see Andy's projects come up, which he has none, come before me, then I would have to say, okay, Ricky, I recuse myself because I would then show impropriety, from accepting money from someone to my campaign. But that's not happening, and there's nothing to worry about with that. So, I just wanted to debunk that for residents. He just owns his small businesses. He built his businesses years ago, and he has no plans to develop. And I made sure I had that conversation with him face to face before I accepted his money.
So you have people on social media claiming that this happened?
Yeah, saying that I accept money from a developer. He's not developing anything.
Gotcha.
In the past, did he build that restaurant? Yeah, he did. But that's 8, 9 years ago. 8, 9 years ago.
So his contribution to you. So to summarize this, his contribution did not benefit the man because he's already got businesses in place So if you
Years
really
ago.
want to find out, right, if you really want to go find out, go down to public records and go do your research. One thing that I absolutely hate that, I mean, social media is an awesome thing. It connects a lot of people when it's used properly. What we're starting to see is an era of reliability on these platforms.
Yes,
You know,
and Hugo, I've seen so many fake profiles created by the opposition. You know, if some of the
we're
people,
talking about the mayor of little Menifee.
little Menifee, there are fake profile. There have been a dozen fake profiles that I've tried to report to Facebook, saying, "Hey, these aren't real people. They're spreading lies about
Mhm.
me." You know, but you know what? I kind of take it as a compliment sometimes because you know what? They're threatened.
You know, and
Why do you
sometimes,
have to lie like
and
that?
sometimes, and I hear what you're saying. And when you start looking at that opposition,
Mhm.
you can either look at it as a negative thing, or
Mhm.
you can look at it as a positive thing, and be like, yeah, you're trying to dig because you know, I don't want to say haters,
Mhm.
right? But there's definitely something that I'm doing that's causing a stir.
Why would
It,
they put so much effort into doing that if they weren't threatened or if they didn't
that's
feel, you know,
that's typically the tactic when you it's fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna
yeah,
sling mud. A lot of times in going into situations, or I'm on these platforms all the time, going back and forth with all sorts of things about all sorts of different people.
yeah.
And the one thing that I've always just kind of come to the understanding is like, your opinion of me. I'm a civilian. I'm a citizen. I'm not running for public office. Your opinion about me means nothing. If you omit the facts that I give you, if you don't want to learn more about me or understand my stance by asking critical questions, right? There's this thing that we fail to do when we're setting in and putting our emotions to it, is think logically sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's what you're experiencing. I think all the candidates have that going on for them.
Yeah.
I know that I've gotten into it with one of the other candidates,
Okay.
and it was literally just a simple question like, why would you consider me this when, and then if you're saying things like that, what makes me think um you're going to be the best person for the mayor? If I feel like you're attacking me, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're implying something about me because I don't support you, like, I might not support you just because I might know more about this candidate than I know about you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's not because I don't like your policies. It's not like, or I don't like the way you look, or I don't like you as a person. I just happen to know more about this person, and they align a little bit more, and it has nothing to do with you, right? So,
Yeah.
when we come to these crossroads, I think you kill them with kindness, you kill them with information. Me personally, I don't care. I'll let somebody have it because I'm not running for public office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's the challenge. You know, I'm not a politician. Like I'm an educator. I serve in the reserves. You know, like I consider myself a citizen who
mhm,
just wants to make. I'm just Ricky. I'm just baseball loving kid Ricky at heart, and I just want to make a difference in my city of Menifee. You know, and I'm not a full time politician. You know, that's not what pays my bills. I have other occupations that
right.
do that. I could be doing other things. If I'm not, elected or reelected, guess what? I'm
Mhm,
still going to serve my community and country in other ways that are
absolutely.
very fulfilling.
One thing that I can say every time that I've come across you, with the exception of when you're sitting on you've always got a big smile on your face.
Mhm.
You're super approachable.
Mhm.
I know that on social media, the population is really easy to get a hold of you.
Mhm.
You respond,
Yeah.
you reply. Uh, so, and in the grand scheme of things, you have my support. I'll be voting for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Um,
And if I see some nasty comments, I can kind of tell, I can gauge, and I apologize to some of you if I see it get heated or disrespectful, I'm just going to try to hold myself above it. But if you can approach me in a cordial, respectful way, I am here to talk to you, one human being to another.
Absolutely. All right. Two last questions for you.
Yeah.
Two last questions for you. 5 years from now,
Mhm.
you were elected mayor,
Yeah.
right? And what's the term? 2?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. So 5 years from now, you're elected mayor.
hmm
What does Menifee look like?
Menifee has a downtown, or at least plans to have a downtown to facilitate more dining and entertainment options. Menifee has protected its rural identity, its history. It hasn't been overrun by developers and endless housing. Menifee is one of the safest cities in the state, if not the country. And Menifee is ready to look forward and accommodate the next generation, because our median age here is 38, and we have a lot of young
So
growing
we're young
families.
families out here. Okay.
And let's create a happy synergy where every family can feel welcomed and something to look forward to, you know.
Understood. Last question. Here in about 40 minutes,
hmm
these Yankees about to see your Dodgers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I already know the answer. Who you want to win the World Series is going to be the Dodgers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I already know that this is going to be a wish.
hmm
Okay. Dodgers winning. What they winning in? How many games?
I think they do it in 6.
6 games.
Yeah, I think and that would be cool to do it in LA, but I think either way, if it's not the Dodgers, I think the Yankees are going to put up a good fight. I think this is a classic World
This is
Series.
definitely a classic.
You know, we're gonna remember this forever.
Right.
And it's the two storied franchises who helped build baseball from the very beginning, and now here we are in 2024,
Absolutely.
and they're gonna go at it.
So 2024 is going to be a great year. It's going to go down in history.
Yeah.
Right. I want to thank you for
Thank you.
coming here and talking with me and letting, hopefully we provided a little more insight to who you are and what you represent. I get it. I'm guilty of, getting into the political ring and going toe to toe with people. But at the end of the day, we all want to see Menifee thrive.
Yeah.
We all want to see Menifee go in a good direction to where 20 years down the line, we're not in a bad situation.
Yeah, we want to be in a good spot and hand it off to the next generation in a good spot.
Ricky,
yeah. Thank you, Hugo.
Thank you, man.
Hey, God
you
bless.
Have a good one.
God bless.
And let these Yankees get in these Dodgers tail tonight.
All right. God bless you guys.
So Trilogism, we're gonna go ahead and post this. We'll be on all streaming platforms. I was trying to go live from the jump, but we did cut in the middle. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. Trilogism out.
Now listening to the sultry sounds of Trilogy
All right, awesome, man.
Productions.
Thank you so much.